Hello all. We are on our 30th TSC meeting. Let me share my screen. For the different leader, if you need, but I push on the magic refresh button, it's possible. So for today, just beginning by a quick roundtable. So we have got many joining participants. Okay. Hello. So from the board, we've got DT. We've got, so Raphael is the alternate today from Ericsson. Hello, Raphael.
Hello.
We've got Luis from Telefonica. We've got, hello, Luis. We've got also Orange. So Team Orange, DT, Telefonica, and Ericsson. So we've got the minimum quorum if we need decisions. Is there any other members of the board? No? Yes, Nicoletta. Okay. So we've got 6 and 7 members of the board. And we've got also for today other participants. So from Suzy, Canonical, Linux Foundation, Huawei, Ubicube, Equinix. Did I miss one partners? No? Okay. So thanks all. You are all welcome for today. Concerning the Linux Foundation policies, please remind you've got the link for the policies we are applying for this call. Luis, I put your microphone in mute.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe it's. I hope you'll be able to reactivate or activate your microphone. Yeah, that's okay. For the introduction, Carlo is not with us today, and so I will animate this meeting. You've got our main website concerning our marketing website. You've got a white paper and so on, the link to the Slack. And now I'm jumping to the general news. So we had the Mobile World Congress last week. Some were participating. Kai was there with nice LinkedIn posts, and others were around this event. So maybe you can have some feedback about our potential partner or how things goes with some demo. I don't know if some have feedback just to share. I don't know, for example, on the Suzy booth, you had a presentation.
Yes, so the working group 4 demo created a lot of interest. I need to check the database, but I think we probably presented it about like somewhere in the ballpark of 30 to 40 times to a broad range of people. The general feedback was that the industry is very interested in initiatives like this and confirms the relevance of an undertaking in this direction, particularly the angle of doing this in a collaborative way across a large number of involved parties to come up with a model that sort of is universally applicable across a disaggregated infrastructure was like many people thought that that was a great initiative. There was also a fair amount of interest in the Sylva project in general. We at SUSE, in the meetings that we had with operators outside of Europe, we were asked about Sylva a lot, and we actually established contact with a couple of other representatives of the project at the event so that some ad hoc meetings could be scheduled. So overall, I think we can take the feedback that we've seen, and I would be interested to hear what others have seen, as that Sylva is really something that creates an increasing amount of interest and also has increasing visibility.
Okay, thank you. Very useful to have partners' feedback for this event. And UbiCube and Self-Focus are not with us today, but we will ask them also the feedback they had during this event.
But this is nearby. I can comment briefly on Self-Focus. There was a lot of interest, to be honest, from many service providers with respect of Sylva. So somehow I completely share the feedback from team. There is, if I may say, a very good traction and appreciation from the opportunity. So we show ourselves in our booth somehow separately to a number of customer system integrator partners. So it was rather positive, if I may say, in general, as a feedback.
Okay, thank you. I've not recognized you with your phone number, so yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm Luca Bianchi nearby.
It's very.
So sorry.
I'm pleased to have your feedback also during this call. Okay.
Can I ask a quick question? Tim, do you plan on having that same demo at KubeCon? I think you all have a booth.
I need to check, Naomi. I need to come back to you on that. I'm the KubeCon preparations are handled by a colleague of mine. I'm not like the main contact from our business unit for that one. I need to check. Let me come back to you on that.
No problem. Thanks, Tim.
No, I think it's a good point to introduce this, Naomi, because we are going to cover it at the end of the meeting. So Tim and others have time to check internally if they have a booth in the place. But we are coming back on this topic in the adoption section. Thank you. And there were also lots of news and communication around the Mobile World Congress. So we can also discuss this in the communication section. Now, following the next point, if we have directed fund information to share here, linked to our funding board, I don't think so. No. Is there any governance topic someone wants to raise? No. Okay. So we're going to switch on the workgroup one with Matthew. So I'll let Matthew present where he's in the progress. And at the end of his presentation, we will have also a quick review on the roadmap we have drafted with the workgroup one for this year. Matthew, I'll let you present.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Guillaume. So far from the 1.0.0 release, we've been taking a new release for fixing some small bugs, and we tend to release oftenly for such small improvement with x.y.z versions. Little fixes, and we are today really focusing on chasing the race conditions that we have in CI, improving the CI, improving the testing coverage, and the documentation. We are not really focusing today on new features. We want to stabilize what we have with the 1.0.0 with minor versions update. And that's it for me. We can go with the with the update for the roadmap. And of course, we've been also discussing a lot and preparing the Sylva Day that is coming soon, the 19th of March.
Okay. So this is what we have done last year, and here we are about to speak what is planned for this year.
Yes. So again, we are going to probably tag a new version. Probably we'll name it 1.1, which will mainly be about bumping the Kubernetes version and stabilizing the 1.0 version, and also introducing some better way to manage users, or at least some better explanation on workflows for using a workgroup cluster from a CNF perspective, a CNF vendor perspective. This will come with some requirements towards CNF vendors, and probably some security constraints that we will have that we will ask the CNF vendor to adapt to. But of course, then it will trigger some discussions with the CNF vendor, hopefully. And yeah, that's it for the 1.1, I think. Then we will start focusing on ORAN use cases. And we will also start exploring immutable OSs. We know that most of the industry is going to that direction, especially for edge use cases. So we are going to discuss that during the Sylva Day with IT vendors who are going to attend the Sylva Day. I'm thinking about SUSE, Canonical, and maybe Red Hat also. So they are all using immutable OSs for edge use cases, and we need to start experimenting that and decide whether we switch also to immutable OSs or not, or we'll have to discuss that. We will also have a nice demo from Telecom Italia about Nephew integration, so some proof of concept, and a lot of topics to explore about offloading of the data path, about how to do tenant isolation and how to optimize some bare metal deployment, because today having some bare metal deployments, full bare metal deployments, both for the management cluster and workgroup cluster, may be a waste of resources. So it would be nice to have the option to optimize such deployment. Telecom Italia is interested in that topic, and I think Deutsche Telekom too. Hopefully, we will have time to start discussing that, even if we don't have. There are multiple options, so we don't have a strong opinion about which option should be used. But hopefully, we will be able to start discussing that during the Sylva Days too. Okay, and for long-term topics, so still bumping to the newest Kubernetes versions, 1.29 for version 1.3. And we are internally at Orange also exploring how to use clusters managed by hyperscalers, how to do it with a management cluster on-premise that is managing a workload clusters potentially hosted by hyperscalers. This is an interesting approach that we want to explore at Orange. And of course, we know that CNF vendors are expecting, some of them at least, are expecting some additional services to be available on their workload cluster. So we will discuss that again during the Sylva Day and probably add this kind of additional services before end of the year. Two topics that will take time and that we will start discussing and exploring with Sylva stakeholders. So the GitHub story. Today we have a kind of GitHub story, but it's not the target. So we keep working on a specific API for managing especially workload clusters, for defining workload clusters. So it's more like a long-term story because it needs to mature and it needs to discuss with especially telco providers what is the best way to define something that is generic in-house and how to after customize it for specific workload clusters. And the other part, which is more for a long-term topic, but it's really about how to automate the networking. We know that Deutsche Telekom is having a nice solution to propose. We need to discuss that to see if it fits Sylva deployments and if we can adapt it at Sylva. And of course, we will keep discussing with other working group, especially security working group and sustainability working group to adopt what they require.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. So just you mentioned this, but it's very important. We in the work group 1 we are integrating many output of different working groups. So if we have a tool to measure the CO2 emissions, so definitely we need to also to have an automatic deployment. We have to work with Luis and the work group 2 if we define security red lines on the CNF part. Definitely it's important. And also something we already discussed with Luis and the work group 2 about the infra test coverage. It's important that we can provide to the validation center the ability to test if the cloud features capability is activated. Something that is important before launching the onboarding of a function. For example, if I need a SRIOV, if I have a GPU, how I can test that this feature is reactivated. Okay. Is there any question to Matthew and I and all the working group 1? Yes, it will be a busy year. Yes, I heard the message.
Yeah, it's a busy one. Yeah. Same as last one. Last one was busy as well.
Yeah.
I have a question to Matthew and to Guillaume, if it's okay. Regarding in the roadmap the user management capabilities, will this also include the provisioning and deprovisioning process for the users?
Yes, of course. Because today, so of course it comes with the ability to, the Sylva stack is coming with the ability to add new users, but we mainly have a component called Keycloak in the stack, which is here to connect to an external Active Directory or LDAP. We expect real deployment to be connected to an existing user directory. But in the Sylva stack, you can already define some users in Keycloak itself if it's not connected to an external component.
Okay.
So it's coming with that. But what I mean with user management, it's mainly about today we have by design we ask the CNF vendor mainly, but also any external users to access their workload cluster through airbag proxy implemented with a rancher. And it brings difficulties, especially when vendors are defining some specific APIs and CRD. It has to be also created at the rancher level for those API to be accessed by external users. So we must define something clearer than we have today about that, because we do feel like letting end users and CNF vendor creating their own operator CRDs is the best approach, and we must facilitate this approach. So at least I'd like to make it clear in the documentation how to deal with such API extension on the workload cluster level, and maybe in the second step how to automate the creation of airbag extensions at the rancher level. This is what I'm having in mind, but today it's not clear how to do it.
Okay.
In rancher.
Thank you.
Okay. So is there any clarification question or something missing in this roadmap? Just to mention that how we worked with Matthew and the team, we started with the use case priority we defined at the TSC level, and we integrated this in the roadmap, also in terms of the cost of each feature development. So just to see how we proceed, it was based on what we validated together. And during the review, for example, on Tuesday, we forget this part, tenant isolation, and Carlo, yes, asked us to add this in the roadmap, and he wants to contribute with us. I know that some other operators are interested in this to have bare metal mutualization in the configuration of CAS on bare metal. Okay. So if we have no more clarification question, I just have so it's an iterative process. We are at the end of in a couple of weeks we are going to develop the V1.1, and we will start to release a major release with 1.2, and of course at the end before launching the next release, the 1.3, we will have a new review. The objective is not to fix the roadmap for the year, but we can reevaluate together the priority of our business or technological opportunity. So I'm just asking a feedback of the TSC member if you are all okay with this roadmap, or if you have an additional topic or question on this, just to validate this strategy. So concerning Orange, DT, Telefonica, Vodafone, Ericsson, are you okay with this approach?
Yes, we are okay. Telefonica is okay.
Thanks, Luis.
Yes, also okay for Ericsson.
Same here for DT.
Nicoletta? You're on mute, Nicoletta. So Nicoletta, if you can provide your feedback on the chat, if you have issue with microphone. So I will let, if someone can let a little chat to Nicoletta to see if she okay with the roadmap. And on our side, we are okay. Thank you. It was, I think, the topic we covered for the work group 1. Any last question? No? Okay, so we are going to the work group 2.
Okay, so from the testing part, things that we are doing, we are progressing another validation. Well, 2 CNFs are right now in progress to be validated. The one from Ericsson that we plan to have, this will be the first one that could be validated in both bare metal and IaaS. And the SMF, still we are running the functional test there. We have a new proposal for another workload that requires GPU support, and this is related to the previous discussion. So we raised a request to working group 1 to incorporate the support for the GPU as a specific feature, because if we want to address also edge applications that require video, this is needed. We need to integrate it, how to enable this in the platform. And well, it was, as we have just seen, it was incorporated, so will be part of June release, version 1.2. So we will be able to validate this one by then. It was accepted to be in the backlog, but will be waiting to be validated. We also, in the last 2 weeks, we approved within the Sylva validation team a proposal to incorporate a new element to be validated. So every now and then we add new elements, or we think about new elements to be validated in order to complete the validation cycle. And in this case, it's not really a validation, but it's a tool that will help us. So we plan to incorporate an artifact. So we expect the workloads to provide an artifact indicating what are the platform requirements for this network, for this application, this workload to run on the platform. So having this artifact, we will be automatically be able to confirm if the platform is properly configured, and if not, run the configuration actions to have it ready for validation. Right now, we do this in a manual way, and we plan to do it more automatically. The thing is that there's an initiative, an open initiative out there called Open Container Initiative that is defining these artifacts. So we are planning to use this as part of the validation, incorporate these artifacts to confirm what are the requirements, and then automatically configure the platform accordingly to the needs of the workload, or identify something that the platform is not providing, and then this will be the basis to integrate again with working group 1 to request some feature. Okay, so we included this as a proposal, and moving forward, we will see how we incorporate this in the reports. Initially, it's going to be optional. I mean, we don't expect these artifacts to be provided, but we will incorporate a suggestion to incorporate them in the workloads. And another thing we are doing is that, yes.
Sorry, on this topic, Marcin from Huawei is with us also on this TSC. Just a question on my side, Marcin, Luis, do you see any value that the presentation of Marcin to be done also in the work group 1? Or do you think it's not linked to the stack?
I think it is linked. Well, it would be interesting, but still the open container is not doesn't have a final. So it could be an introductory meeting, and I think at validation level was enough. I don't know if Marcin wants to provide any specific presentation to working group 1, but at this point, I think the initiative is still not mature enough.
Okay.
Yes, I agree. Basically, we need to have something more stable or more mature to present to working group 1, okay. And it should happen soon.
Yeah, so you have this option in mind. Please activate it when it will be the appropriate timing. Thanks, Marcin.
Okay, sure, thank you.
An important thing, this will not be a requirement for the platform, because the platform doesn't have anything to do with defining what a workload needs. It would be a requirement for the workload to provide information on what it needs, so that we can automatically configure it. But of course, if it needs something that does not exist, we will have information to add it. Okay, and the last point that we have been working lately is reviewing the CNTI, the Cloud Native Initiative. The CNTI stands for Cloud Native Telco Initiative, which is, let's say, an evolution of Anuket somehow, or part of Anuket, for the specifically to validate or to define how to validate that the workload is cloud native. And this is one of the other points that we already incorporated in the cycle. So instead of reinventing the wheel, we want to reuse these scripts. So we are reviewing the CNTI documentation to see if the scripts are already available, or if not, identify where we can help providing feedback and actually creating scripts so that we can validate that the workload is cloud native even before validation starts. Okay, so this is what we have done in the last 2 weeks. What are we doing the next 2 weeks is we will keep completing the active validations. There's 2 to go in the workload, in the backlog today. And then we will have the specific session in Paris in the Sylva day to talk about the evolution of validation. So it's there where we will talk about how we want to incorporate the different things, the cloud native, the work with the CNTI that we have done, the open container, also relationship with security, as has been commented before, with energy. So we are preparing the session for the evolution of validation in the Sylva day. And that's all I wanted to share. There's nothing really to share, and there's no decisions at this level.
And Cédric Olivier from CNTI will be there also in Paris, Luis,
Okay, good.
in the participant list. I've checked this. Any question to Luis and the work group 2? Okay. Thank you. Concerning work group 3, Mihai.
So in terms of UCS analysis, we have finalized the asset management chapter, and we have written a couple of features which should be integrated into Sylva. At the same time, we've done a current analysis of the current status of the EUCS requirements and where we are in terms of completion of this analysis, because it's taken quite some time. Currently, we're sitting at around 67% of it, and we have also started to look based on what features which we have written for from UCS derived, which are implemented in Sylva, and try to make an analysis unto this point. We don't have yet a report on this because there are different levels of granularity from the USCS. USCS is very, very general. And the security implementations which we currently have on the telco stack, they cover different bits of pieces. So it's hard to put it all together, but we are working on this. And as a next step, tomorrow will be the follow-up meeting with Thales, where we'll have the main point to discuss a potential proof of concept on having the Thales HSM solution integrated with Sylva. We will also try to explore during the meeting some potential opportunities related to the roadmap. For example, maybe we can find something related to import certificates signed by a trusted PKI to Sylva. Maybe something related to logs, as in the stack we have also started to generate logs for various operations. And yeah, the main point would be what we know for sure is that they have an HSM solution which we could explore as a POC, but we'll also search other options to see where we can have a good collaboration with them.
Thank you. Just a complementary point on this HSM integration. What we are pushing is the more open source way we can manage different supplier of HSM. This is the topic we want to raise with Thales. We are validating this with Thales HSM, but the optic is to have a generic integration of an HSM. Thank you, Mihai. We will not have a TSC meeting in 2 weeks because it will be the KubeCon. So the following one, it will be in 4 weeks. Will it be possible to have maybe a snapshot on this work group 3, where you are? What is your next challenge? Is it something?
Yes.
Okay, so you are asking for a slot of 20 minutes to present the progress of your working group. It is?
Yeah, 20 minutes should be fine, and 5 minutes for questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mihai. Concerning energy efficiency, I have no information shared by Sundara currently. So a topic we've initialized, we want to initialize a project backlog for the energy measurement and CO2 emission with Sylva. So team is interested to be part of this initiative. Orange also. So if there are other partners who want to join us to have a energy measurement for CAS on bare metal, but also manufacturing process CO2 emission. So don't hesitate to contact Sundara, Yvan Meriot, or I, or Carlo. Carlo is also part of this working group, so we can make the link. So nobody on the bridge. Okay. And now I'll let the floor. Yeah.
Sorry, Guillaume, I was a little late. So I'm looking for ways for Suze to get engaged. For the time being, I will do this myself. But I'm investigating other possibilities. So I'm already in touch with Yvon about this.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks. We'll add you as a potential contributor. Okay. And now I will let the floor to the communication and adoption team. So André is not here, but we've got many participants about this working group. Nicolas, Naomi, Nicolas, maybe at late. You have more information, but Naomi, don't hesitate to complete.
Yeah, I can start. So the Mobile World Congress is behind us now. So we already had some feedback regarding the presence of Sylva on the SUSE booth, the demo also by Self-Focus and Nearby Computing. So and unfortunately, we didn't win the Glomo award. So Sylva was not selected as the best cloud solution for 2023 for the past year. So maybe next year we will come back home with the trophy, but it will be not this time. Next time with more deployments in production. I'm sure that will help to get to win. Okay. Then ahead of us, we have several meetings that are organized. I'm going to start by one that is not put here on March 13th. We have a 2-hour workshop between Sylva and the HCNFV work group that will take place. It's a face-to-face event. It will take place in Paris, in Orange premises. So the goal is to introduce both projects to each other. I think there are still some members of HCNFV who don't know Sylva. And then we go more into the details and technical discussions, more so about the orchestration and the link between not beyond the APIs, the link between HCNFV work and what we do in Sylva. Also, there is a more prospective topic regarding energy efficiency. In this time slot, we will present what we do. At CNAV, we present what they do, and we will identify if there are any possible touch points or synergies. So that's for March 13th. On March 18th, there is a Etsy Cloud Native Day, still organized in Paris in Orange premises. So it's an afternoon session. So we will have representatives there, Philippe Ansarguet, myself from Orange, Guillaume. I don't know if you will be present as well.
Yeah,
I guess so.
I'm co-speaker with Philippe.
With Philippe, okay. So that's another opportunity to advertise Sylva, and
Yeah.
of course on
I will be there as well, and in my presentation I will also name Sylva, so as a reference to promote the cloud native ecosystem. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Luis. On March 19th, of course, we have the Sylva Dev Day. So Naomi, since we are all participating to the organization, but you are the heart of the organization, do you want to say a word about the event?
Am I the heart? I feel like Julie is the
You're the
heart
heart.
at this point, but yes, I'm happy to give everyone an update. So as you all know, planning is underway. A few of you, if you've registered, you've already kind of received emails from me confirming your registration. We are at, let me pull up that really quickly. Give me 1 second. I could tell you where we are.
63?
But pretty much we are at our cap when it comes to registration. We have about 60 people registered. So we're really excited for it. As you can see, Guillaume is sharing his screen. This is going to be the agenda. This is the most up-to-date agenda. You will notice that there are stars next to different sessions. The stars are based on how technical the talk is. So just be mindful of that. And again, if you are registered for this event, you will see an email come from me next week that just kind of gives you last minute details, reminds you of the event, tells about, you know, how to basically access the Orange campus, etc. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much,
And
Naomi.
you're so welcome.
And then because this happens on day 0 of the KubeCon, we have the KubeCon itself. So regarding the presence, you know, Sylva, we don't have a lot of money, so we are kind of hosted by other companies that are representing institution booths. So I know there is a presence organized on the Linux Foundation Europe booth. So this is being set up with Suzanne Remnant. And I saw a possible representation on the Canonical booth. I don't know if we have any representative from Canonical.
We have
So
Mark.
it's currently being
I don't know
discussed.
if you are aware about this topic. Mark Bayern is from Canonical.
And what I can also
Yes,
do is I can reach out to whoever the Canonical marketing person is as well. But I think I just talked over someone. I apologize.
And Sordar also, sorry.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, hi there. Please do coordinate with me, Naomi. I can take care of that.
Awesome. Thank you, Sidar.
Okay. If there are other companies around the bridge who want to propose hosting Sylva on a corner of their booth, please feel free to raise your hand. It will be with pleasure. We can provide content. We are used to doing that. So you can reach out to Workgroup 5, Naomi, myself, Andre. We will provide the necessary presentation material if needed. Then also,
just to come back on the KubeCon, so if there are some people around this bridge who will participate to the KubeCon, don't hesitate. And you want to give 1 hour or 1/2 hour to the LF Europe booth, they will have a corner where we can speak about Sylva to the ecosystem. So you are welcome. So don't hesitate to ping Nicolas or I. We will give you the appropriate link to inform Suzanne where she can rely on you.
Yep. thank you for the reminder. Also, there are several events ahead of us. In April, the FutureNet World event in London. So we can remove the question mark because we started applying. So since it is a company application, Orange has started the application, and Julie started drafting the application text. It will be reviewed, I guess, tomorrow during the communication work group session. And same for the SUSECON in June. We will have something. So Orange will bear something in the name of Sylva for the SUSECON.
So if there are any other award that someone wants to apply in the name of a company, please share it right now. Or transfer the information to Nicolas, André, and Naomi. Any question to Nicolas or Naomi to this very dynamic communication team? No? Okay. So thanks all. Is there any topic we have not covered on the agenda or updates that happened during the call? No?
Just maybe side Connex information. On March 21st, I will be in Brussels. There is the kickoff meeting of the IPCI. So I won't be there alone. I will be there with colleagues from Telefonica, Telecom Italia, and also Dutch Telecom, of course. And we will have a panel led by telecom operators, so the companies I just cited. So it will be also the opportunity to talk about Sylva, because as far as Orange is concerned, and I think we are not the only one, Sylva is the cornerstone of our IPCI portfolio. Just as a reminder, IPCI means important project of common European interest. TLDR, it's European funding for projects, and so Sylva has a place into this cloud IPCI, and it will be represented during this event.
Okay. Another topic I forget about adoption. There will be a meeting the 15th or the 16th of April, also in Brussels, for a major project, which is 6G AI. So it's organized by 6G SNS. And many of the contributor company of Sylva are on board: Nokia, Ericsson, Huawei, Orange, DT, Telecom Italia, Thales, Telefonica, Vodafone. And during this meeting, they are going to start to draft what will be the next major project within this consortium for 2025. The invitation has been sent to all these members, so there are dedicated members for each company. It's usually a research department for those companies. And Sylva is mentioned in the cloud stream as a not mandatory solution, but as a preferred solution on the cloud layer. So don't hesitate to contact your members for your company if you want to have a brief. If you want to get the name of your partner, because we are all in big companies, so don't hesitate to contact me directly. I can give you the name if you need to have internal synchronization on this topic. It's the opportunity to finance many activity also. Okay.
Guillaume, did you share the estimated amount of funding?
The overall budget is 900 million euros. but it's pluriannual and it's on many topics. I think that the cloud part for next year will be around 10 million, but I'm not sure. We have to verify.
Okay. Just sharing as a potential motivation to onboard this kind of program.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to contact me on this topic. Okay.
All right.
Any question? Complementary information? No? Okay. Thanks all. And see you in Paris for whom we have the opportunity to be there. And for the others, we will see in 4 weeks for next TSC.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.